everybody. Quiet, listen to me. We're going to start a show.
Okay, so welcome back to the Ink and Paint Club podcast. This is our second episode. Kyle, I'm gonna make the joke. We haven't been canceled yet.
Oh man, waited a whole week for it.
Oh yeah, it's been a whole week. We're still here, so that's cool. So anyway, my name is JD.
And I'm Kyle.
That is Kyle. He's cool. He's a cool guy. So before this is if you're new here, this is a weekly animation art talk podcast where Kyle and I just kind of bullshit about what's going on in animation and kind of cartoons we like or dislike, I guess. Right?
Emphasis on bullshit.
Right. So before we get into the news today, Kyle, how have you been? I feel like I haven't talked to you a whole lot this week.
I'm pretty suicidal lately.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Why? Wait, is this
Do I need a reason?
if this is a story, is it a family-friendly story?
Nah.
Okay. Maybe we should leave that be.
We'll leave that for the other podcast.
What other podcast?
The suicide episode.
Oh no. I don't know if I want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Well, let's get off this sad note. So let's talk about some news, Kyle. Does that sound like a good idea for you?
Whatever.
Jesus Christ, man, you're killing me here. Alright, so there's been a lot of reboots been announced lately. God, okay, so we're just gonna try to breeze through this because there's like a lot of them. I guess first up, Cartoon Network's rebooting Ben 10.
Because it's not even 10 years old
I know,
yet,
right?
And it has to be rebooted in
God.
a terrible art style.
I don't say it's terrible, it's just kind of generic.
I'm gonna say it's pretty terrible.
Okay, fair enough. No, but yeah, this is kind of weird. I think they said in 2017 is when they're doing it. I have to reread
Jeez.
it. But it seems weird, the rebooting Ben 10, because like I thought they had rebooted it already, but then I realized that like no, the show's just kind of changed art styles, but it's been the same continuity. But it's like
it got American Dragoned.
God. I actually defend the American Dragon style change in the second season. I actually kind of like it.
It was actually way better than the first one.
It was the first. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Anyways.
Yeah, but I like their reasoning is like we need to introduce Ben 10 to a new generation. It's like that generation is still
You can't really get nostalgic about it. It hasn't been that long. I mean, it's still on the air.
I don't think Ben 10's been on.
Like,
it didn't have a break. Ben 10's been on consistently for almost 10 years now. I don't know when Ben 10 came on. It was like high school for me or something. But
it was around that time. I think it's 9 years old. Something
like that. But yeah, it just seems so random. Maybe it's like, this is the 10th anniversary, so we're going to make a whole new show. But like, from the article, it's like they're just starting over. It's like they're still going to be, he's going to be 10 years old again. They're going to be on vacation. It's like, why do we need to do this? Maybe they just ran out of ideas for, older Ben, and they're like, let's go back to the beginning.
Next.
Alright, anyway. Another reboot. Powerpuff Girls is coming back, Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where have they been?
Well, they had a kind of CG 3D special, like last year, I think it was. That was okay, I guess.
Terrible.
No.
I thought it was bad, just art style-wise. I didn't really want to give it a watch. It looked like a video game cutscene.
Oh. I watched it. It was okay. It wasn't bad. So, yeah, this whole... The big news surrounding this reboot, they replaced the original voice actors with teenagers, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about that. I'd have to actually watch it, but voice actors weren't even notified, and they're like heartbroken over it.
Yeah, that's yeah, Tara Strong's been on Facebook and Twitter for the last week or so. She's been pretty vocal about it, but yeah, I guess Cartoon Network said like, hey, if the special did well enough, they'll, make new episodes. And I guess it was kind of implied that they'd be brought on, but I guess that didn't happen. That's cool.
I guess what people don't realize is that voice actors, like, when they voice a character, it's an extension of themselves.
Especially Tara Strong. I think Tara Strong is actually suffering from multiple personality disorder, and every new character she voices gets added to that Rolodex.
Seems about right.
Because I've seen her vines, man, and she just does like a bunch of vines in these characters. The characters she hasn't voiced in years. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But
well, at least this art style doesn't look terrible.
It
looks more or less like the same. They just added.
It just looks like it's really simplified. Like they're gonna do it in Flash or something.
Yeah,
but
true.
Just doesn't look as dynamic. But I liked Powerpuff Girls when it was on. I'll watch it. I'll give it a try. I'll give the new voice actresses a fair shake before I make a judgment. All right. Well, this is something I'm more excited about than, I don't know if you even care about this one, but
not really. If it's that one.
Shut up. Reboot's coming back. The reboot, Kyle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I never watched that show. I was more into Beast Wars.
It hasn't aged terribly well, but it's good. I liked it.
I liked Beast Wars better. Had animals.
You and your robots.
And transforming.
It doesn't... I know they explained why they turned into animals in Beast Wars, like something about the environment that they needed an animal form, but it's just so stupid.
I thought Beast Machines was dumb, but we're getting way off topic.
Wait, what's the difference between Beast Machines and I know it, you can tell me later. I don't know what the difference between those are. That was before I started watching Transformers. No, but it's called Reboot, like the Guardian Code or something like that. New characters. From what I can tell, it's not going to focus on the old characters, so no Bob and all those guys. I mean, Tony J's dead, so he can't voice Megabyte, so that's kind of sad to think about.
That was in poor taste, but okay.
He died years ago.
Oh.
I think. I don't know. So, Kyle, tell us about this Galactic Kids Next Door goings-on. That's another reboot. Is it a reboot or is it a continuation?
Looks like it's just a different thing altogether, almost.
I don't know.
But I've seen it around on the Chan boards, and everybody's super excited about it, and it doesn't even really seem like it's a for sure thing. It's just something that I guess Warburton is developing. I don't even think it's like, attached to a studio or anything. I don't think Cartoon Network knows about it, but I've seen them do like a little animatic, and I don't know. I wasn't a fan of Kids Next Door, so it's whatever. I know a lot of people were, but
I liked it. I liked it, but I kind of forgot to keep watching it when it went, like, the later it went on. Like, I watched the final episode, I saw the TV movie they made, but, like, that last season and a half, I think, I kind of forgot when it was on, so I stopped watching it, so... And then when I'd watch a random episode, I have no idea what's going on, because, like, apparently they started having, like, overarching plots and conspiracies and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But...
You know way more than I do.
Yeah. Alright, next news thing. Okay, so we're done with reboots, so let's get into some, like, actual other news. Okay, so we're gonna talk about The Simpsons again, Kyle. I know how much you love that.
Yay!
So they're just kind of pulling out all kinds of stuff for The Simpsons next season. I mean,
it just seems like it's so gimmicky. Like, every bit of news that Al Jean has quote-unquote leaked out, it just seems like one gimmick after another. Like, oh no, they're gonna divorce. That's never happened on the show
that's
before.
what happens, everybody. Homer and Marge are getting divorced.
Like that's never happened when Kirk and Luann got a divorce, and then they got a divorce so they could remarry again. But,
Well, you know.
or every season where they've had marriage problems and whatever. It's dumb.
Is Simpsons just like a dead horse they keep beating for you?
That's what it seems like.
It's
I
like
don't know.
it should have died a long time ago, but they just
The only reason why I still watch it is because I like to read the reviews on Dead Homer Society and just read what they have to say about it, and everything is just like so true, just about the terrible quality of writing, whatever. But Homer's going to date this pharmacist chick that's voiced by Lena Dunham.
I don't know who Lena is. Lena Dunham's like a stand-up comedian, right?
All I know is she's on like the show The Girls or whatever.
Oh.
And I know some other stuff about it, but I don't think you want me to talk about it.
Maybe not.
Even though she's admitted to being a child molester.
Okay, let's move on. That's not... We don't need to talk about that.
Anyway,
so DreamWorks had some interesting things to say last week about their films. So I guess DreamWorks is making a real push to quote unquote dumb down their films, because they feel that their slight adult edge to their movies has been a reason why they're not as successful as like Pixar. What say you, Kyle?
That's kind of... I don't know if you'd take it this way or not, but that seems like it's a insult to Pixar. Like, is it not?
Yeah.
If you have to dumb down your stuff like Pixar, it seems like you're kind of dissing them in a sense.
I don't know if they said Pixar exactly, but it's like they feel like compared to other animated films that theirs is more, I guess, adult themed. Like it's more push towards adults. I haven't seen that recently. Like with Shrek, and I rewatched Ants like last week or whatever. And I could see that with adults. I don't see that with the recent ones. Of course, I haven't seen that Home movie. I didn't really have an interest in seeing it.
Nah,
but
I don't want to see it because Bazinga's in there.
You don't like Jim Parsons?
I can honestly say I don't like that guy at all.
I just don't like The Big Bang Theory in general.
I don't like that show, and I don't like him.
Oh, we've been real spiteful this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Have you known me to be any other thing?
It's true, but I'm being spiteful too, and it's starting to make me sad.
Oh,
So...
I'm rubbing off on you.
Yeah, you are.
But not in that way.
You're a bad influence.
Yeah.
Starting this show was a mistake. Show canceled. No, alright, so let's get on something a little more, something better. So, Kyle, E3 is this week, and, we're not a video game show, but I like to ham-fist any video game news in here that I possibly can. So, 2 games that are, relatively relevant to this show. First off, today, Monday, when we're recording this, Kyle, did you play the South Park RPG from last year?
Yeah, I haven't beat it, but I know enough about it.
How did you like it?
I like it. It's pretty fun.
Rousing review, thank you.
Yeah, I haven't beat it, so I don't know.
That's fine. But apparently, coming next year, we're getting a sequel.
And it's superhero-based.
I know, and I think that is hilarious and amazing, because I really like when they introduced all the superhero stuff, and just like how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Kenny's superpowers, he can't die. And it just explains so much. And because he's from a Satanistic cult, but, But, yeah, that looks cool. I haven't gotten to play the original, the Stick of Truth game. I really want to, though, because it looks funny, and, I thought it was really cool that they could make it look like you're playing an episode, like, almost seamlessly. So, and I think this one, at least from the trailer they put out today, looks more of the same.
Yeah, and you can pre-order it, which I wouldn't recommend.
Pre-ordering is for fools.
Yeah,
Unless you get, like, a cool statue, like I did with Majora's Mask.
Oh, yeah.
That thing's cool. I like it.
Instead of paying, like, $800 on eBay for it.
Right. Get on that early. But there's another game that they announced. Well, it's not announced. They just announced that it's coming out finally. There's this game called Cuphead. Have you heard of Cuphead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, like, really, really old.
It's not really old.
As far as in development, it's been a while.
Well, okay, so if you don't know what Cuphead is, it's basically like a run and gun kind of game, kind of like I guess
Metal Slug.
Yeah, Metal Slug. Thank you. That's what I was thinking about. But like the entire game is hand drawn 2D animation, and everything looks like it's like pulled out of an old Fleischer cartoon. Like everything's constantly bobbing up and down. Everyone's got rubber hose animation and all that stuff.
It's the classic 1930s style, which is pretty cool.
It's cool. I like it.
From the recent gameplay, it looks like everything's like ran through a filter, so it looks all old and washed, like an old cartoon, which I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. There is a little bit of sad news, at least, I mean, I don't really care, but a lot of people on the internet were sad that I guess it's going to be an Xbox exclusive.
Hey, I heard that too, but I heard it was for Steam, and I also heard that it might be for PS4. I'm not too sure, but...
it might be... Maybe it'll be like one of those, like, limited exclusives. Yeah, I heard it'll still be on Steam, so that's fine. I was probably going to play on the computer anyway, but I don't know if it's going to be, like, PC and Xbox exclusive, or maybe PS4 will get it later on. I don't know, but I think it looks super rad. I want to play it. Because I like that old style, animation. I think it's super,
Yeah, everything they showed, I just like the style on it. The devil was all hairy, which you don't really see. Looked more like a Krampus. I like that a lot.
A Krampus. Oh, jeez. So, yeah, that's coming out next year. South Park's coming out this year, so there's lots of other games that are coming out next year, but that's not relevant to our show, so... So Kyle, unless you have any other news for us, I guess we can take a little break. Do you have any other news?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Alright. So everybody, that's the news for this week. We'll be back in a few seconds of your time to talk about this week's topic. So stay with us, preferably alive. Alright, so we're back from break. So Kyle, we've officially been on the air for an episode and a half. Protocol dictates that we immediately reboot this show for a new generation. I told you the joke was going to be terrible.
Yeah,
Did it live up to your expectations?
Knowing you, yeah, pretty much.
It's just not normal for me now. No, but Kyle and I decided, with all this news about reboots, to maybe go back and look at some old other reboots that have happened in the past. Some good, maybe some not so good. Does that sound like...
We'll decide on that later.
You be the judge. Except we're the judges. So, let's go with something I feel... First up, let's go with something I feel is a good reboot. The new Ninja Turtles cartoon.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Yes, thumbs up.
It's something. Isn't it something?
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Oh, yeah. Well, it has turtles in it. And there's 4 of them.
We're just killing airtime here.
I actually liked it because in this new one, they actually look like teenagers. They actually talk like teenagers. I dig it. The other ones, like the 4Kids one, they were like built like linebackers. They were all serious all the time, and I didn't quite care for it.
Yeah.
It was super dark.
Grim dark.
I mean, look up Baxter Stockman on the 4Kids one, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I never really watched Ninja Turtles before this show. Like, I tried to watch... I can't watch the 80s show, but I can't watch a lot of 80s cartoons, so it's nothing against it. I tried to watch the 4Kids one, and I just couldn't get into it at all, but... I don't know, I really like this one. You know, it's just easy to get into, I guess, and from what I can tell, they pull a lot of stuff from, like, the old comic books. Is that true?
Yeah. For the most part. I don't want to pull this card out, but I remember being a kid and actually seeing like the original one on NBC or whatever, like Saturday morning cartoons. That was cool. My brother was really into Ninja Turtles, so I was kind of into that world at a young age, and we used to watch VHSs and stuff like that. But that was the '80s one, and 80s one's all right. I mean, it is what it is.
Has it aged
it's just
well?
really campy. It's campy. You gotta just go with it.
Yeah.
Like whatever. It's just silly fun.
Right.
I
don't know. I do kind of like how this new the CG turtles. I kind of like how they're like, it is campy and jokey a lot of the time, but they also like know how to be serious.
Yeah.
Not like that they're actually like ninjas. Like they go do ninja stuff, like sneaking around the shadows and like doing recon stuff.
Well, they go and train in the woods and different stuff like that.
Yeah, they go do the Walking Dead farm plot. If anyone remembers that, if anyone watches The Walking Dead and got super bored by the second season.
I never gave that a chance.
Yeah, that's kind of when I stopped watching it. Anyway, but yeah, I think it was cool. I remember, I think, I don't remember when it was. I think it was still in the first season. There was like this fight. It was kind of, I think it was like I don't remember if you remember this. It was like, they were having a fight. It was in a medical lab or whatever. But like, they just decided it was going to be all silent, except like they took all the music out and it was just, the fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a really bold choice for a kid's cartoon. And I was like, thumbs up for you guys on that. I thought that was really cool.
I do remember when like the first episode was premiering, I didn't care for it at all. It took me a while to jump into it.
Yeah.
But that was, I don't know, that was being a little too judgmental in the beginning. But now it's actually really cool. I prefer it over the 3 that's been out, and I don't know. I like them. The designs are cool. It's a cool show.
I'm with you. This is my Turtles of choice.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
5 stars on Yelp.
I don't think we can rate shows on Yelp yet.
Oh.
Oh, God. Alright, how about another... I don't know if you watched this one, Kyle, and I guess it technically counts as a reboot. A lot of these are going to be, like, technically reboots, because we found, like, it really hard to, like, find things that are... This is a definite reboot. But,
I'd call it a reboot.
Alright, cool. Transformers Animated from back... I think it was, like, mid-2000s when that was on? Early? I don't know. But, yeah, the people who like made Teen Titans and Ben 10 back in the day decided they were going to make a Transformers show. I don't know. I don't know how familiar you are with Transformers, Kyle. How's that?
Well, I'm not really into them. I never really was as a kid, but I did give this show a chance, and I liked it for what it was. I just think that I kind of lost it. Like I just kind of stopped watching it. That might have been the time where they were like, the girl's a robot. But
I actually thought that was kind of a creative twist, because like, it's weird how she just has this connection to this robot, and it's like, well, she is a robot from space, and she just has human DNA in them, and...
What a twist.
I don't know, I thought it was cool, but I liked it. I don't know, it just like, I had watched Transformers, I think starting with, I think it was Armada. Yeah, I think Transformers Armada, and I watched, like, off and on, like, that whole, wow, I'm alienating a lot of people. I watched a lot of that, like, Unicron trilogy shows, like, I think it was, like, Armada, then it was Energon, and then something else. I forget what the third one was. I think it was, like, Cybertron or something like that.
You've, like, completely lost me.
That's okay. Some people understand what I'm talking about, and I'm talking to them. But, yeah, like, I like those. They're okay. I liked Armada better than the other two because I think Energon and Cybertron like started making CG robots against like 2D human characters, and it looked really awkward. But I don't know. I thought it was cool when they brought I think it was Man of Action who made it when they made animated, because it's like it didn't look like any other Transformers show before it, and I think they took it.
No.
I think they took it a little less seriously. Like, it was... I say that, how 80s shows took itself seriously, But, you know, I felt they, like, took it, you know, these are robots. They're giant robots. How serious are you going to take that? And I liked how they, like, had a relationship with the local police. They weren't really in disguise at all. Like, everyone was pretty well aware of it.
I dug the art style when it was like first announced and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I used to joke all the time because Optimus just looked like Bobo to me. He just had these like full luscious lips for a robot. I didn't know what the hell that was about.
Yeah.
But, it was something where it was like, holy shit, I kind of want to buy all these toys because they were cool.
I do have a couple.
Art style was cool.
Yeah. I remember BotCon, which I guess is the big Transformers convention, came to our state one year. I think it was about the time. I think it was actually the year that they were airing that. And I was like, I really like these art styles. I'm going to buy an Optimus and a Megatron toy, and they're now in a box somewhere. I wanted to get more of them. I really wish I could go back. I might actually, when I got more money, to go back and buy a lot of those toys. I really liked a lot of the designs, because it was weird because it was interesting seeing them trying to turn these kind of wonky designs into a functional toy. Like, I don't think they fully thought out, like, okay, this has to be a toy later, like they do with some of the others.
I think they did a great job turning them into toys.
Oh, no,
I mean, that's like what the whole show is about. It's like
right.
a
and
fucking
that's
toy
what I was saying.
commercial.
I think they did a really good job of taking these wonky designs and turning them into a functional toy, because it's like, I think a lot of the problems with Transformer toys is they never look show accurate. Because
yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah, it's like they got to make it work as a toy. So yeah, like I watched Transformers Prime, and a lot of the toys I was seeing from them, like I don't know. Oh, side note, the new Transformer show, like the new one that's like out right now, that's like a continuation of Prime. Not so bad, actually. I was a little apprehensive because I really liked Transformers Prime. Kyle, you probably never watched it, did you?
No, I'm not really a Transformers fan.
Prime was so good, though. It was like it actually took it seriously, but and I was harping on I don't know, whatever. But it was nice. I liked it, and then they were like, "We're making a more kid-friendly continuation of that," and I didn't know how I was going to feel about it, but you know, it's good. I'm liking it so far. I'm like 10 episodes in. Thumbs up so far.
Well, I remember reading an interview when Animated was coming out, and they had said that they really wanted to make an emphasis on the bad guys to show that they were bad guys.
Yeah.
And the thing about them was they made the bad guys like super overpowered, and they made them like a big threat in the show. And I really dug that because it did feel like the good guys were overpowered most of the time, and that's good because.
And it was.
Yeah,
it was weird because like the Autobots technically outnumbered them.
Yeah.
Because like in the beginning, there's only 3 Decepticons. Like Starscream, Blitzwing, and Lugnut are the only 3 they have. The Autobots got 2 people on them, yet they're still having a hard time. I don't know.
That is true.
I loved Blitzwing. I liked his 3 changing face.
Yeah.
He was Manny face as me, man.
His fancy German.
I liked his.
That was the best one.
I liked the crazy German head. Because he was, I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I like Transformers Animated. I need to see if they like release it on DVD like as a full series, because I would be very much interested.
They've released it on DVD, but it's like
in segments.
19 fucking DVDs that you have to buy. With like 2 episodes each on it.
I don't understand like why some like they won't just put out season DVD. It's like I have the first complete season of Spectacular Spider-Man. Great show, by the way. But the second season, they're like, if you want the rest of the second season, you got to buy like 4 DVDs. And I'm like, just put it out as a box set like you did the first one.
Nope, they want their money.
Jesus.
But you can buy it on Blu-ray for the full series.
But I don't have anything that plays Blu-rays, Kyle. I haven't advanced the technology yet. I still use an Xbox in my computer to play DVDs, which I don't do much of. because
I am
DVDs.
so dearly sorry for you.
Physical-based media is dead, Kyle. Says the person who refuses to buy video games digitally yet. But I can't justify buying DVDs anymore for some reason. Just, I don't know. It's clutter in my house. So yeah, let's move on. We've talked about Transformers for ages, but another good reboot that I really enjoyed and I think is a little underappreciated. What are you shaking your head for?
If it's what I think you're gonna talk about next, I didn't care for it.
The Batman?
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, come on! Oh, jeez. Yeah, the Batman show that the Kids WB aired had the same art or same character designer, same art director or whatever as Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yeah.
You didn't like that? Oh, God.
Like some character designs were like, oh, cool, I like this, I can dig it. Mm-hmm. And some of them were like, oh, this is...
Yeah.
What are they thinking on this?
Alright, I'll give that to you. I really liked how they designed Catwoman and Poison Ivy in there. But I will fully put my hands up yep, you're right, about how they designed Joker. I did not like how he's I get they're trying to make him look like a mental patient, but the straitjacket was going a little far.
It was like cyber goth to me. It came off as, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. The design, the colored sleeves, the barefoot, it was just really weird to me. And then I didn't really like Kevin Michael Richardson as him.
I thought he did a fine...
It just didn't really fit.
Yeah, I think he did an okay job. I mean, it sounds like Kevin Michael Richardson.
Well, I mean, it's so weird. If you know the roles that he's done and everything, he usually gets typecast as, being the big black guy.
Yeah.
He's Gantu, he's, different characters. But, on the Cleveland show, he plays the redneck, and it doesn't sound like him at all. And he actually has, he can do voices and stuff, but it's really weird that in the Batman, he's just kind of doing his same voice that he does.
It's almost like his normal speaking voice. Just he's trying to be Mark Hamill at some points.
Yeah, the laughing and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really care for it. And then I'm, trying to remember if I even liked how Harley looked in there. Because I know they had her at one point.
Yeah, I think she was in one episode. I think she was a talk show person, a talk show psychologist, and then she interviewed the Joker and whatever, and that's how she becomes Harley. She's only in one or two episodes at the most. I didn't really like her design because I think her hat was huge.
Yeah, it is pretty humongous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of dig it.
It's okay. It's really weird, but I actually kind of like how they did Bane. Instead of him being a luchador, he turns into the Red Hulk basically.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. It's a completely different Bane than we've seen before. But
it's it wasn't a bad show. It was pretty cool. It was campy, sort of, and serious, sort of.
It was... I think it got campier as it went on. The first season is real grimdark. It's just I think that was the time that, I think, The Dark Knight and Batman Begins was coming out. So, they were trying to capitalize on, this has to be dark. But I remember for, the first season or two, the theme song was trying to reflect that. But then, I think about the time they introduced Batgirl and... if this is wrong, please someone in the comments correct me. I think it was the third season, they actually changed it to a more campier, almost kind of like the theme song to Batman Brave and the Bold, that kind of level of camp. The show was still a little serious, but they started making it a little more funnier, because it's on Saturday morning for kids. It's not... You're never going to remake Batman the Animated Series, so just,
No.
You gotta try to make yourself different. Just as a side note, I'm really sad that Beware the Batman got canceled and shoveled off the air as fast as it did.
I didn't even give that a chance.
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched one episode of that. But
okay.
Everything DC Nation was just done with.
Yeah, God. That is a show. That's a show entirely of the death of DC Nation. But God. So speaking of DC Nation, actually, there was one thing that survived it, Kyle.
I can't wait to talk about this.
God.
I can't wait to hear your nerd rage on it.
Jesus Christ, I have so much. Please talk about this real quick so I can center myself, because I will unleash here in a minute.
Okay, so as far as reboots go, I thought it would be fun to touch down on Teen Titans Go. Now, I actually, when they announced it and they showed all the character designs and all this stuff, I actually really liked their character designs. And it's like slightly different from what it's known now. But I personally feed off just the anger and nerd rage everybody has for this show.
Like I do!
Yes. It's just funny to me.
Oh, God.
But everybody wants this show to be like the original.
No!
But when you redo a show, it doesn't... You're trying to do something different.
That's not the problem I have, though.
What's the problem that you
Okay,
have?
alright.
Let's hear it.
First off, I will agree with you. When I first saw the designs, I was optimistic. I actually really liked how, when that concept design... I'm mad they changed Raven's design. I liked that early concept version better.
Yeah, that's
But
what
let me tell you why I dislike Teen Titans Go. First and foremost, it's not funny. It's just a lot of lol random humor. And, oh god. Alright, so most of my problems, like everybody else that has an issue with this show, to me, it spits in the face of everything the other Teen Titans show worked for. And it's, because it's the same designs, it's the same voice actors, but they ruin the characters. And I'm sorry if this makes me sound like a huge nerd, and this is just like
you've way past that.
I'm way past that. All right, I will fully admit this is a dumb thing to get mad about, and whatever. But God, it's like. In the original Teen Titans show they made, all those characters were so well written. I love that. Is like in my top 10 favorite animated series shows. So take notes, kids at home, because that might be a future episode where I list that kind of stuff. But every character, the main 5, they're written so well. Everyone had their own distinct personality. Everyone was had a depth to them. Teen Titans Go throws all that out the window and burns it. And I will tell you exactly why, character by character here. So, my two biggest issues, Beast Boy and Raven. Okay, first off, in the original show, Beast Boy was not the most intelligent. That's fine. Titans Go, he's a fucking moron. He's borderline a vegetable. Just incapable of doing anything. And I think I've seen an episode where they literally, it's revealed to Beast Boy, they give him all the easy jobs because he's too stupid to do anything. And then Raven is a brony now, I guess? Look, I got nothing against
It's a joke.
I get the joke, it's just not a good one.
It's a joke because it's the same voice actress.
I get it.
It's a cute little nod to it.
It's not a cute nod. It's, 'cause, the whole point about Raven was that she's closed off and non-emotional, yet all the time she'll, she's just now sarcastic. That's all she is. She's, snarky, and before it was, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but, And then the fact that, she sits in her room and, acts like this little girl playing with ponies, it just seems so out of character for me. And then, Cyborg, he was a party guy in the original show, that's fine, but he knew how to, ground itself when he needed to. But now he's just, 24/7 crazy man. And it's just... And Robin is just, they took all of his obsessive natures to an extreme, and Actually, Starfire's pretty accurate still. I don't. That's actually pretty consistent.
From my understanding, a lot of the nerds, like yourself,
Like myself.
get really mad because she throws "the" in every sentence.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
an
Yeah.
alien.
That does bug me. It's like they're taking her inability to properly understand English and just like. At first, it was like, okay, she's like a foreign exchange kid, because the original show was like they were saying that a lot of the characters were like high school archetypes, and hers was like the foreign exchange kid. She doesn't understand English. That's fine. Now it's just almost. She's not an actual minority, but it's getting almost borderline racist how much they make fun of her impediment. It's like, she can't do English well. That's funny. It's like, not really. I would almost forgive this show completely if it wasn't banking on all of the credit of the original show by taking all the designs, taking all the voice actors from that show, and making this out of it. Okay, I will say one positive thing, and it makes me mad at the same time too, is I watched the episode that was technically the Young Justice crossover. Because I loved Young Justice, and I'm sad it got canceled along with more DC Nation stuff. But it was just funny how they tried to play that Young Justice was like a serious show, and then all the Titans were played off as like, your show is just dumb. You don't even like take anything seriously. And they spend the entire episode trying to be super serious. And I guess someone dies at the end of the episode, and they don't like resolve that.
I see.
Yes, Kyle's clearly enthralled by my nerd rage.
So anyways.
Oh, God.
Anyways.
Yeah.
What people gotta realize, this is just another, like, show.
It is.
It's not intended for the people that watch the original.
But...
It's for a new generation. It's for people that never watched the original Teen Titans.
Then make it original. Like, okay, like with Ninja Turtles. Yes, they got Rob Paulson back to voice a turtle. That's a cool nod. I like that. He's a different turtle, and I like him better as that turtle. But that's not the same as where Teen Titans Go is wholesale ripping off its own thing.
It's not intended for 20-plus-year-olds. It's intended for little kids. I'm not saying it is. It's a fun cartoon for little children.
Then make it a fun cartoon.
I've watched a couple episodes. It does get pretty meta on it, and it pretty much is making fun of the fans in a way where they want a serious show, and they're showing it being serious. They get all that fucking Squidward handsome faces.
Oh, God.
And it's actually really funny, but I don't know. You just gotta take it for what it is. It's a different thing. Yeah, it's got the same voice actors, but it's different. It's not intended for you. Stop being a nerd.
I'm sorry, I'm a nerd. I fully admit that, but my girlfriend really thinks it's funny, and I just don't. And anytime it's on TV, I'm like, I can't watch this. It hurts.
Jeez.
All right, so let's talk about another, in my opinion, not so good reboot. I promise I won't go full-blown nerd rage on this one.
Now that we've spent like 20-plus minutes on Teen Titans Go,
oh God,
we'll move on to your favorite show that I absolutely have no idea on.
Oh God, it's not my favorite show. I just liked it. So, I don't know if this is even still going. I didn't bother to check because I didn't watch it. And this is, again, I don't know if this technically counts as a reboot, but Shaolin Chronicles, Kyle.
Yes.
You didn't watch Shaolin Showdown, did you?
I caught like a handful of episodes.
I watched the entire thing, and I've done so several times.
I am not on that level. I am sorry.
It's fine. But Shaolin Chronicles was another WB show back in the day. Wow. This group of multi-ethnic kids from all over the world going globetrotting on a dragon, finding mystical objects and fighting with bad guys over them. And every time they'd have to fight, they'd have to go into this other world. Someone makes up a game that they have to play in order to win this magical object. But I don't know. I thought it was cool. It was super campy and but in a good way, I guess. And then Disney XD's like, hey, we're going to bring it back. And I was real excited about that. I'm like, yeah, I liked Shaolin showdown. It kind of ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger, but not like one that annoyed me, but like, okay, we're gonna get some more resolution for that. And honest to God, Kyle, I did not care when it came back.
Yeah. From all the stuff that I read, it didn't seem like it was all that great, but
It's not.
I mean,
I watched the first couple episodes and just like,
I'm not really a fan of this show. I never watched it.
oh,
I caught it when nothing else was on, but
okay.
I know they replaced characters' voices.
Well,
and, like,
see, the whole
not even a little bit. I mean, it's drastic changes. Like,
yeah. Well, see, the whole point of Shaolin Chronicles is that they were able to buy some of the rights of the show back from Warner Brothers, and they had to do the entire production in Canada now. So only Canadian natural citizen actors could work on it. So you could keep Tara Strong as Omi. That's fine. But we had to replace Grey Delisle with Jennifer Hale, which she doesn't do a bad job, and I don't know who else was on there, but Wayne Knight couldn't be the dragon, and yeah. But they just made so many weird changes that when you look at it, it's like, why bother? It's like, you had all the different actors. That's a nitpick, whatever. The dragon had to be changed color for reasons I'm not entirely clear on. And then
that's really strange.
And then all the Shengong Wu, the magical weapons. I guess those were copyrighted outside of the show. So they had to literally rename all the objects to not as, in my opinion, not as great names. But yeah, it to me, Shaolin Chronicles did not have the same heart that Shaolin Showdown did, so I just didn't watch it. I don't know if it's still on. I can't imagine that it is. If it is, I don't know.
Two thumbs down.
2 thumbs down.
And 0 stars on Yelp.
God. Kyle, I will let you know when Yelp starts letting you rate TV shows. You'll spend all day doing that.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, God. So, Kyle, is there any other reboots you can think of that you'd like to talk about?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Alright. Well, I apologize if this show's a little short this week. It's been really crazy for me, at least. I don't know about how busy Kyle's been, but
Yeah, I've been so laid back.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, man.
Alright. So, I guess that's it for this week on the Ink and Paint Club podcast. Thank you for listening.
Tune in next week.
Next week, we actually can tell you what we're talking about. We're just going to let you know, heads up now, we're going to be talking about Pixar's Inside Out the entire episode, aside from doing more news. But the show's topic will be a review of Inside Out. I'm looking forward to it. Kyle, I don't know about you.
I could take it or leave it.
Thank you for your enthusiasm. No, but, so, if you don't want to be spoiled, I guess you could just kind of leave the next episode until you have seen it, or go see it this weekend like we are, and then you can join in on the conversation with us. But, yes, thank you again for listening. There's links in the description below for our social media pages. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr. And there's also links to Kyle and I's personal pages if you would like to follow us there. So I guess we'll see everybody next week. Say goodnight, Kyle.
I really don't want to.
You don't want to say goodbye?
Nah.
Oh.
Nah.
Then I'll do it for you. Episode over. Good night, everybody. Come back next week. Follow pages.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Is that your sign off now, telling everyone they love you?
Yeah, I love everybody.
Okay, we might have to enact a restraining order. I'll have to think of another gimmicky joke for next week.
Yeah.
Because we've gone through me joking about cancellation and having to reboot the show. What's next week, Kyle? What lies in store?
I'm not looking forward to it because it's really bad.
It'll be abysmal, trust me. All right, good night, everybody.
See you later.